It's Friday, May 12th, and when it's Friday, you know what that means. It's time for Comics Forever. Welcome back to Comics Forever, the weekly show where I tell you about all the comics that we here at Brave New Worlds love that you should be reading. Got a lot of cool stuff, so let's get right into it. A couple weeks back, Sins of Sinister ended with Sins of Sinister Dominion, and I have lots of people asking me, Casey, how do I jump into X-Men comics? It feels like there's so much going on and there's so much cool stuff, but like, where do I even begin? Sins of Sinister is a lot, and I get that. It's not a good place to jump in. Now, I don't even know how long I've been doing Comics Forever, but a millennia ago, I told you guys about House of X and Powers of 10 as the perfect jumping on point for the new status quo of the X-Men reality. This book is 4 years old at this point. Time doesn't make sense. This is 4 years old. So I understand if you don't want to go all the way through 4 years of content to catch up on X-Men. So I understand. I'll give you another good jumping in point. IMMORTAL X-Men by Kieron, Gillen, and Lucas Werneck. This one is fantastic. It's up there up to the 11th issue just came out. This is the first 6 issues. It is the palace intrigue version of X-Men. It is the Quiet Council that runs their nation-state Krakoa and all of the machinations of the leaders of that council, specifically Mr. Sinister. So this is the lead up to Sins of Sinister. Everything you need to know before reading Sins of Sinister kind of happens in here, and it's a great place to kind of figure out what's going on with X-Men without going 4 years back. So yeah, pick up the first volume of IMMORTAL X-Men today. Next up, we've got Peacemaker Tries Hard by Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh, a couple of my favorite creators in the game right now. Yeah, essentially, if you liked the TV show, you will like this book. It is very much the same vibe of comedy, and it just sets off on a brand new little adventure for Peacemaker as he, tries hard. Yeah, it's got the perfect level of comedy that Kyle Starks brings to all of his other comics, and it's great to see him in the DCU. And this is a Black Label book, so it is not for the kiddies, much like the TV show. So if you want some good laughs and some even better peacemaking, pick up Peacemaker Tries Hard, #1. And lastly, hitting you with some classic early 80s DC vintage comics, we've got Creature Commandos by J.M. DeMatteis, Robert Kanigher, and Fred Carrillo. You might have heard recently that they just announced some of the casting news for the animated Creature Commandos film that they will be making, including David Harbour, a la Hopper from Stranger Things, a la Hellboy from Hellboy, who's going to be Frankenstein, and I can't think of a better casting, in my opinion. That sounds incredible. But yeah, essentially, this book is Frankenstein and werewolf and vampires fighting Nazis. What more do you need? It's a blast. I just started reading it for the first time, and I am loving it. Yeah, so I can't recommend it enough. Get your copy, newly printed copy of Creature Commandos to fill your fix of Weird War. Get some Weird War in your life. Thanks for joining me for another week of Comics Forever. If you need even more comics, even more forever, you can hop on over to Tales from the Short Box on your favorite podcasting app. We just came back with our new season. First episode is more Justice League International by none other than J.M. DeMatteis himself. So, if you want to find out if you are into this book, go listen to that episode and you might get a little bit of an inspiration. But yeah, until next time, until next Friday, Comics Forever. You might have heard there is some news of the animated movie that they are making for Creature Commandos. I believe, I can't remember his name, it was Hopper from Stranger Things. He was Hellboy. What the fuck is his name? Dave Harbour. Dave Harbour is his name. More comics, specific.